Solitaire. Just so awesome. We officially have our 5th Ape and Friends deck, and it makes me so happy seeing the little shelf build over time. So let's finish going through all of you people that are inside of this deck. Surprisingly filled up fairly quickly. And with that being said, let's next shuffle up these cards and get ready for our night of Solitaire. And as we do, please get yourselves nice and comfy. And let's get ready. For me, these decks are so fun because I probably spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours trying to find each of the comments, put them in order, and then put them on the right card, and then trying to write on the card without smudging and all that stuff. So it's actually surprisingly a fairly long process, and you think it'd be fairly quick. But it's worth it seeing this develop, and I'm so excited for the next one. But for now, let's enjoy our 5th ever. And now, there will never be fewer than 5 of these decks. And we are officially underway. Wow, surprisingly, all numbers to start, and there we are. We have 1 ace to get things moving. And let's do this. I have been waiting ever since the deck has been finished about a couple hours ago. Well, I finished writing them all down, I should say. Oh, my bad. And it just seems so right. It's interesting seeing the evolution too throughout the decks of the people in it. Oh wow, 777s. We have our work cut out for ourselves. But I remember going through and writing the cards down, and surprisingly, there were quite a few people that were in the other ones. In this one, more than I thought it would be, but also at the same time, there were a lot of newer people, which was just as awesome. I honestly didn't know what to expect, but it was for sure better than I could have expected. And it's just, while doing this too, I want to get another 7. I don't want to get another 7. I want to get, or I should say the initial plan was to get a different style of deck. Like something with some designs on it. But then I thought, you know what? Let's just, what's the word? Let's just be patient for that. If the time comes, and keep this fairly traditional, so it doesn't distract from the awesomeness of the names on each card. And you know what? I'm gonna start doing this now. I just thought of it. I've had this idea for a while, but I did not plan on saying it tonight. I'm going to be doing a secret deck. Well, now that you know, it's not a secret to you, as that is the end to our first game. As there's nowhere for that queen, nowhere for that 9, nowhere here's how the secret deck's gonna work. Now this one's gonna be a lot of extra work on my part, but I know it's gonna pay off as we have double sixes, double tens, double fives, triple fives, and double nines, so quite a bit there. Actually, let me grab it real quick. I have it above everything, very gently. So, this is the deck in question. It's a blank deck for the most part, mainly used for magic. And the cards, as you can see, are the same each way, but actually, each card is different, providing its own unique effect, and so no card is the same. So with that, I thought, you know what? I want to make something of this deck. I'm not really someone to do magic tricks or anything. So I'm going to put individual designs, like drawn on. And I'm going to be selecting random people to be put into this deck. And I just figured out a good way to do that would be to, you know how throughout the videos, like I say something stupid like, oh, I guess we have the Killer Queens out tonight. And then if the theme continues, like at the end of the video, we have a little wrap up, a quick summary of what kept us from doing well, or maybe what was the shining light through our night. Like fat stacks is the word. So pretty much like the words or themes of the videos. People just randomly I'll pick every once in a while to make it even more exclusive and random. That's what I want to make the fun part about it. No one will know until it's done. And each card will be made in order. Besides the aces. The aces will always be reserved for just a standard design. But I think it sounds cool. So we have a little secret operations deck. So those of you listening now already have a leg up on many others. And just to start it off right, let's do a little secret word of the night. What should be our secret word? I instantly thought guacamole, but I thought, man, we can do better than that. Oh. Ooh, I'm trying to think of something. I want to connect it with this deck, so it's also like a code word. There we go. 10, 9, 8. Put down that 3. And double tens. Oh, got it. Comment the 5th or the Roman numeral for 5, and that will be randomly selected. It might be 1, it might be 3, it might be 5. It will for sure at least be 1, as we have triple tens. As it looks like our developing theme of the night is triplets. But anyway, just very fun doing these decks. And I'm just, along with the journey to 1000 being complete, these decks will also be part of that. And it's just fun making little milestones to the big milestone, or the end goal is a better way of looking at it. There we go. And we have ourselves a fairly tough spot still. So we still have triple tens. We need some kings so we can put down some high cards. Almost. But I got it in time. Okay. You know what? Let's play it safe. I think we got our king. But I don't think we have many more kings in our hand, if any. So 2, 3, and an 8. Let's see if we could find a red 7 in our hand instead. Oh, there's a queen. That will be helpful, hopefully. Yeah, not another king to be seen. So nowhere for that 5. Unfortunately, nowhere for that 7, and nowhere for this 6. Our only play can be made right there. But we're having ourselves a tough start to the night. Alright, let's clean it up as we move on to game number 3. As we have double kings, triple kings, I'm blaming all of you. Let's put them in the front on blast as we have double jacks. So the triplets were right here. Thanks a lot, guys. You know I'm kidding, but still. You know what you did. You know what? Let's do a casino shuffle for this one. Okay, you know what? Let's do 2 more fans to randomize it just a little bit more. I guess another reason why I really enjoy these decks, is that it gives an opportunity to look back, just like a 100 special, or any special, and an opportunity to look forward. I remember the first one of these decks was a much different time, a much different, well, somewhat, for me it was a much different channel. Different ideas, figuring things out, lots of uncertainties, issues with equipment. There are still many issues with equipment, but I've managed to learn quite a bit, figure them out, adjust on the fly for the most part. And it's somewhat, it's like a reward for all of the headaches that go with trying to get these fun nights together. I can't tell you how many times, well actually I probably can, probably 5 times at least, I had a big video coming out for us, like a 100 special or a large special, and there were issues with my computers which wouldn't allow me to upload them in time, and I had to go just to get it out as planned after a lot of extra work makes it so much more fun when we get to these points and things are running smooth. Typically, this is after the storm of technical issues I receive. It just makes it much more fun seeing all of these cards represent just a portion of all of you out there. Very, very cool. And let's see, double sixes and double twos only momentarily. I feel like I somewhat say the same thing most of these videos, but at the same time, by these videos I mean the Ape and Friends. It feels like the thoughts are developing and maturing rather than staying stagnant. At first, I think my thoughts on the Ape and Friends deck were, oh, this is a cool thing to do just once, when I first did it. And then it became more of a let's see and try, this sounds kind of cool, to let's make this somewhat of a tradition. And then it became more of wanting to have representation of a fraction of you in these decks immortalized forever with this, as well as a time to be more appreciative to what is here, as it looks like that might be the end to our third game. So let's do a double check, as there's nowhere for that king. 7 or 4. Can't do anything to build or transfer over, so another unlucky game. Much more building, but still a bit short. Triple kings left on the field. Let's see what lurked behind and kept us from going any further. As I have an idea what's coming. Double queens and double eights. I thought for sure we had triple queens, so your butts were saved from the spotlight. But going back to what I was saying, it gives me time to appreciate more and step back of what's happening here. Sometimes I find myself getting caught up having our nightly game session while trying to relax and get to sleep of just playing some cards. However it may be, then occasional other types of videos for now. And while writing down your names, looking through and putting in like just searching what I have to do, I really thought about, it gives me time in that hour and a half to just be like, wow, this is pretty cool. I remember, especially towards the beginning, I don't mind sharing this because I'm not close to being the same person in that way when it first started, but I think it's only natural for someone to want more or feel as if they deserve more. But looking back, I think it's so silly thinking that I'd much rather, as if it in my real life, build genuine connections and be myself. Don't really mask anything, really. I can't think of what I would do besides not being as goofy, because that's counterproductive to trying to fall asleep. those times. I just think good thing I am not, even if it were, it's not like it was a bad level. It was just every once in a while. But just taking time, just appreciating and enjoying the journey, however long it may be, and finding the value along the way, even at points where it seems like it might be harder to find it. And it's just really, really nice being in a positive mindset with that. And I know for myself, a contributing factor is that I didn't know I was as competitive as I am, especially with, this is a tough one. Let's just do our instinct and see what happens. I've done sports pretty much all of my life, and some of them at a very high level of competition and skill. And something like this, like a YouTube channel, I kind of treated it as a sport in a sense for a little bit, but then I thought, what the heck am I doing? That's not what I want to really do with this. I want to just have fun, relax, build connections with people, have better nights of sleep, and just be positive. And I found it every once in a while that would leak through, clouding some of my typical rational thinking. But you know what? It's all good. That's the thing that I think that's kind of funny, is I think we just missed our fourth game of the night in a very cheesy way. It's somewhat thinking, just be more zen, man. And that's something I kind of, not adopted, but just have to think about in perspective and not be caught up in whatever else may be going on. There we go, first fat stack of the night. Thank you. You know who you are. So in short, these decks represent much more than just a new deck on the shelf, but personal growth. Growth with all of you. Growth thanks to you. And being in a situation where I wouldn't be before. Or down a path I never thought I would be down. But you know what? I don't know what it holds, but I am for sure not upset about what it's looking to be like. I'm enjoying every step. Times like this just make it much easier to filter through the nonsense that we all deal with, of self-doubt, maybe self-pity, or whichever degree you may analyze it to, and just enjoy the moment. It would be really nice to get a black king right now. Let's see. Or a red jack. That's just as good, honestly. And just earlier when we thought we might not have a chance at this one, we are now knocking on the door to maybe coming back, as there's nowhere for that 10. We have our black king. Now we need a 2 of diamonds. There's our 2 of diamonds, and I think with that we might have solidified things like just noticing little patterns when I talk about this stuff. You know how back and forth this game can be, and how unpredictable, and just how unforgiving, too. But somehow, when I speak somewhat, I guess it's fairly open, I guess. I'd classify it that way. We have a game that reflects in a positive outcome. And surprisingly, if you go back and see in these types of conversations, I think we have a fairly high win percentage. That would definitely be abnormal to others. Just a pattern I've noticed. But anyway, all of the spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds in order, ace to king. Let's do our victory shuffle. And let's see what we have going for us. Oh, would you look at that? All of the reds in order, doubled up. Let's see if we do it with the blacks. Let's see if we recover. And with the aces, so not too bad altogether. Anyway, let's transition away from all that stuff for our last game. But the last thing I'd like to say about that is, one of the main things I try doing when we play is I don't plan it. I don't think about this being an obligation in any way. I think about, oh yeah, I gotta come play some cards with friends, relax, whatever comes to mind, we talk about, or we can share stories about. And that's something that I think I haven't noticed all too much in regular YouTube. They see things as too scripted, too focused on grabbing attention. I think you know what I'm talking about, and I don't like that stuff. So I try going against it, not intentionally, just by natural means. And doing this especially, I realized I like to self-reflect a lot. And I only kind of share a small fraction of what I do on my own in these videos. But it's still fun. Do you know what I mean? I just wish there were a way for us to have like a constant dialogue, back and forth. And let's have this be our last shuffle. And let's move on from that subject to our final game of the night, my friend. Here we go. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very similar to our first game. Let's see how we wrap up our night. You know what? And when is it really ever given to us? Ooh, there's a king. You know what? I know this one will be just as valuable as the other one. And that gamble paid off. I guess played off works too. Alright, we could put this one down comfortably after that one. And let's get our black queen, if I remember correctly. There she is. There is a red. Let's build our 10 as we get ready for bed. Another king. Put down this 3. 4. Ooh, wrong queen. And just missed our red queen. And I think we might have just missed our chance on this last one. But let's go through normally and then do a double check if necessary. Just a bit short, my friend, but on the night we did manage a win. So the 5th ever Ape and Friends deck has a win under its belt. Double 4s, double jacks, and a 3, nowhere to go. Double 6s, triple kings left on the field. So I guess triplets is the word of the night too. So, let's see which cards are left unturned and wrap up our night. Double aces, double 6s, double 5s, triple 5s, double 2s, double 10s, and that is it. So, you 5s out there, you know who you are. Why'd you do it to us? And with that, my friend, we are officially one step closer to 1,000. Another step closer to our next Ape and Friends deck. And with that, it will be it. So, I hope you have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many sweet dreams. Don't forget about our secret